everyone. Welcome to the Gamers Parley. And for the first time, we're just cut down to two people. It is I, Dr. Johnny, and the beautiful, and on the other side, Daniele Andreuzzi, also known as Ahitis.
Good evening, everyone.
How you doing, mate?
I'm doing fine. This year's start has been pretty good to me.
Yeah.
So,
were you sober
perspectives?
for New Year's Eve?
Were you sorry?
Were you sober for New Year's Eve?
Of course I was sober. Who
So
do you
it
think I am?
Started perfectly. What have you been doing with yourself?
Oh, playing some games, catching up on some movies. The new Matrix came out. That was the first movie of 2022 for me.
And how was it for you?
Oh, I liked it.
Oh, I
I
heard
really enjoyed it.
lots of butthurt people.
Yeah, but even for the second or the third movie, there were tons of people said it they were not good. But my opinion, the first.
Look, I'm going to say something extremely blasphemous.
Mm-hmm.
I've only watched the first one.
What?
I didn't understand it.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
The problem is I watched it when I was like 14.
Oh, okay. Totally
Yeah.
understandable. Yeah.
Yeah. Then our philosophy teacher tried to make us watch it. And I wasn't in school on that day. I never got around watching it again.
So you missed his breakdown. Yeah, I enjoyed. I rewatched the three movies a couple of months ago, and after 6 years of studying philosophy, I enjoyed them a lot more.
Yeah, I can imagine. How's your studying going?
Oh, good. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, I finally finished. That's enough.
How's your? Yeah. I was about to say, how's your work?
Yeah, so I finally graduated. I got my PhD, and now it's time to relax for a bit until I find a job and get on with it. So how's your 2021 gaming being like?
I haven't played tons of games, but the ones I played, I carefully selected.
Okay.
We might say I didn't have a lot of time because I had a lot of things to study this year. So yeah, I tried to make a good use of the time I spent gaming.
Mm-hmm. I carefully selected my games using something called whatever is given to you for free on Epic Game Store. That's been my careful selection of games.
So it was an epic selection, you might say.
That was a good pun, an epic selection. I do not understand how they can afford to do this, but I do believe they make tons of money with the
Fortnite. Yeah. And the Unreal Engine too, because they made it free until you sell 1 million copies of your title.
Easy.
If you sell the millionth copy, of course you made a lot of money, but you have to pay for the use you've made of the engine.
Yeah, and it's probably like really high sum or something.
Yeah, and it's one of the best engines around. So
it's incredible. Have you seen I think it's called MetaHuman? Like the creator? Yeah. It just looks absolutely incredible.
It's bonkers.
Is it Unreal Engine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know Unreal Engine does MetaHuman. I don't know if it's the only engine that does it, but yeah.
You know what a good engine is that never got used?
Which one?
Fox engine.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. The rain and the textures on the Fox engine.
Well, we got all those football games.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, the football games look amazing. The Pro Evolution soccer games look really good.
Yeah, that was an impressive engine. I remember I couldn't believe MGS5's graphics were running at 60 FPS on a PS4, on a base PS4.
But what was the prequel called? Ground Zeroes. On PS3 was absolutely beautiful. And it was just PS3. No, sorry, PS4, sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, PS4. Yeah. It was beautiful, like the water in the hangar. It was just fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so we're looking into really good games in future. Have you seen
Hmm.
the new Matrix that came
The
out?
Unreal Engine experience, yeah.
Yeah. How the
Oh yeah,
graphics
that was,
they
I
look.
downloaded it right when they announced it, and it's amazing. Everything, every light you see in that game is pure ray tracing, and it
Yeah.
runs at 30 FPS, almost locked. And it's still in beta. You know, the Unreal Engine 5 is still in beta
Mhm.
until the end of the year, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some months still. Um, so you see this tech demo, which they probably worked on for like 2 weeks or something, because it's really rough. You know, you can
Okay.
see it's really rough. It's just to showcase what you can do, but it's still stunning. It's still beyond everything I've seen, even on PS5. I mean, I haven't played Ratchet and Clank yet. We'll talk about that later. But as far as I'm concerned, that's the best thing I've ever played visually.
To me, it looks like what Cyberpunk was supposed to look like.
Yeah, yeah.
So the
They
jab.
should have delayed a couple of years and used the Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah, the problem with that game was they've delayed it for like what 7 years.
Yeah,
They had to have it come out at some point,
of course.
and it came
Uh,
out the way it did.
so, are
Anyways,
we gonna dive into the
what do
best
we
of
have planned
2021?
today?
Yeah, so we, even though as we're recording it's January 15th, we thought we're still close enough to the year's beginning to talk a little bit about what our gaming in 2021 was. So, in case you haven't played many games this past year, you might find some games that could be suggestions to you in case you don't know what to play until next month when Elden Ring comes out.
Yeah.
Then we'll all know what to play.
The lucky ones that managed to get a PS5.
So yeah, I would put it this way: we still have a month until Elden Ring comes out, and a month time for my standard is the pretty good amount of time to start and finish a game
Yeah,
when you're living a normal day.
especially when you're home due the Rona.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we are gonna go through our 2021 list of what we played, what we planned, well, we still plan to play maybe, and you might find some suggestions on games that might appeal to you. So yeah, let's do that.
So our list is just chronological, what came out each month.
Yeah.
And we'll just go
Yes.
through whether we've played it, whether we liked it, and if we can convince people to buy it or play it. So starting off, January, brand new year, fantastic 2020. You move into 2021. Of course, this is all ironic. We have Scott Pilgrim versus the World, one of my favorite comic books, sorry. One of my favorite game movies, which is important to know because it's not a video game movie, but it's a video game movie. So, have you ever watched the movie?
No, I haven't. It's one of those movies that I have on some list, which I will watch sooner or later, but
Fantastic.
I never came around to it.
It's on Netflix at the moment, I think, if you want to watch it.
Cool.
So yeah, apparently the complete edition came out, which I remember it coming out, and I haven't played it yet. It's like 16-bit brawler game. Anyways, then we move on to Yakuza Remastered Collection, which I heard you liked the spin-off game or the similar game to it.
Yeah, Judgment.
Yeah, you want to talk about that or move on?
Yeah, well, I heard about the Yakuza games, of course, but I wasn't really intrigued by them until Judgment came out. For those who don't know, basically in the Yakuza game, you are a Yakuza member and you fight your way to along some kind of plot, but you are part of the Yakuza in those games. In Judgment, the gameplay is very similar. The world maybe it's the same universe even. But anyway, the word does look similar. But you're not a Yakuza, you're a detective who does have some contacts in the Yakuza, but he's not a Yakuza himself. So the detective spin on the world, I kind of enjoyed it. And yeah, I never played a Yakuza game, but I did play Judgment, and I still have to play Lost Judgment, which is the sequel that came out later last year.
So let's say it's like the true crime Streets of LA to GTA. This Judgment is the goody part of the Yakuza.
Yeah, more anime-like.
Okay.
Compared to GTA, yeah.
You've convinced me.
It's really good, yeah.
Then we have February. Here in Italy, in February, it was freezing. Yeah. I don't know in your house in Slovenia if it was freezing or not.
That's an inside joke. Many people say Trieste is actually in Slovenia, but it's not. It's in Italy.
He's still in Italy. He's ancora italiano. So February we have Control for PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
I know it's one of those you enjoyed.
I think, I'm not sure if it wasn't a free update, but they gave it away with PlayStation Plus. So I do have Control PS5 edition in my library.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't gotten around to playing it. I played the original Control on PS4, but I haven't finished it. So yeah, for me, this might be a good chance to
make up for it. Control for me is one of those games where it came out for free on the Epic Store, so I haven't played it yet. But it is on my Epic list.
Cool.
That's the game that has Kojima in it. He did like a cameo.
Yes, he does. He does have a cameo, which is really funny. It's funny as hell.
Yeah, and the only reason I know that there's
like,
yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you enter in this sensorial deprivation machine,
mm-hmm.
and there's this voice of this Japanese doctor guides you through the experience, and it's a very cool experience to play. I won't spoil it for those who might play it. Yeah, it's all the time Kojima speaking Japanese, and his translators from the interviews, you can recognize his voice translated into English.
Yeah, Aki Saito's a translator.
Yeah, him.
So the only reason I know that Kojima is in this Easter egg is because when it came out, I get a text message from a certain Daniele Andreuzzi saying, "Oh my God, Kojima's in the game!" So I said, "Yeah, I got to play it."
I stumbled upon that part and I was so surprised.
I had no idea he was in it.
Yeah, me too.
Is Control one of those games by Sam Lake?
Yes, it's very Sam Lake-est.
Yeah, so he's good buddies with Kojima.
Yeah.
What do we have then? We have Neo Remastered 1 and 2, complete edition, PS5.
I haven't played a single one of them, but I heard they're like Sekiro or Dark Souls, but really, really difficult.
Mm-hmm. So like Sekiro and Dark Souls.
Yeah. I don't know, on a higher step,
What else do we have? Little Nightmares 2, one of the big games of 2021.
I do have to play that one. I mean, the art department in that game is just beyond anything I've seen. It's like a psychological horror.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really does appeal to me.
All right. Then what do we have? Persona 5 Strikers.
That one I played. For those who are a fan of Persona 5, it's quite a different game, gameplay-wise, because it's more... The battles are more active, while Persona 5, the original, was more like a turn-based RPG. So like the old Final Fantasies.
The best Final Fantasies.
Yeah. And it wasn't bad. It was really good. But this action kind of combat that they put out in Persona 5 Strikers it's really engaging. It's fun. It was fun to play.
Okay. Then we have Bravely Default 2, which comes out for Switch. Now, I don't know about the Switch version, but I have played both 3DS versions. Have you ever heard of Bravely Default?
I have, but I think I've seen a trailer or something.
Yeah, so it's sort of like Final Fantasy, so it's a turn-style JRPG. But the
Mhm.
interesting mechanic is you have your turns,
Mhm.
but you can default your turn, so you can skip your turn to have a double turn in the next slot.
Oh, interesting.
So I don't remember if you can do it once or twice. You know, it's this new turnstile mechanic, which is pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah.
What do we have then? March. What happened in March?
More
Foxdie.
I think.
Definitely more.
Foxdie.
We have Crash Bandicoot 4. It's about time.
Oh yeah. I've read people talking really positively about this one, but it's
Might be the
Foxdie.
speaking. Positivity. It's probably that.
positivity is really important these days. I don't know. It's like, I guess if this came out like in 2004, it would have been a huge hit. But since it came out in 2021 and platforms are no longer that mainstream, would you say? I don't know how much is sold, but I read great reviews about it. I mean, they called it a really worthy successor to the original trilogy.
I'll tell you what, I've played many of the Crash Bandicoots, probably all of them. I absolutely adored it. It's a fantastic sequel. I'm one of the people that enjoyed the first Crash Bandicoot 4, but the Wrath of Cortex, now remembered. I actually enjoyed that one, but it's got weird mechanics and the boss is always the same. It's the same character with different masks. So they went for the different masks theme once again, but they kept the gameplay tight with the third one. I loved it. Really fun game. Impossible to platinum.
Oh,
Whilst I did platinum the first
time
3
challenges and so on.
Oh my god, it's crazy hard. Then we have Marvel Avengers, which Nav is not here to talk about. And he was a big Marvel Avengers fan.
Yeah, Nav was supposed to join us, but he had a last minute accident, and so it's just the two of us. But
he was bullied by some bricklayers living next to him.
But yeah, I haven't played it, but I heard not very good things about this game.
I wouldn't be able to say anything. We're missing the Avengers boy.
Yeah, we'll ask him next time. Stay tuned, guys. Subscribe.
Stay tuned for next episode of the Gamers Pod. Then we have Crash on the Run for mobile. So like a temple run, but Crash Bandicoot.
Cool.
Yeah, cool for the first 30 minutes. Then it's just uninstall.
Yeah, we were talking about it before starting the recording that I cannot play mobile games for more than some minutes.
Thing is, how old are you, Danny?
32.
There you go. You just answered your own question. You're not 12.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but when I play a game with a story, with big music and set pieces and so on, I like a big screen. I like to lay on the couch and not be disturbed by anything or anyone, having good audio, all those things.
It's the old age. Do you also scream at the children out the window on your lawn?
Occasionally.
Then we move on to the next one. And I know you're a big fan of it. It Takes Two.
Oh my God.
Game of the year. Joseph Fares.
Whoever you are, if you haven't, play this game. Find a friend who will stand your incapacity to play it, or find someone online. There are tons of groups of people who don't have friends to play this game with, either because their friends are not very good at games or because they're not interested,
or friends.
There are huge Discord servers where people asking anyone who want to play with them. It's a great game. You have to play it in two people, but it's really, really good. I was surprised by how good it was. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Joseph Fares. I loved Brothers. I've loved
Way Out.
yeah, Way Out. I loved it,
Playing that with
and
people, pretty cool.
this takes it not just to the next level, but to the next 20 levels.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every single level in the game is totally different, has totally different gameplay mechanics. It changes all the time. Yeah, it's a beautiful experience.
Mm-hmm. And like the other games, you only need the one copy.
Yeah. That's another thing. Really, that's really cool thing. You only need to buy one single copy of the game, and when you invite your friend to play with you, either online or on the couch, he doesn't need to buy another copy. He can download a free mode version, I think it's called. He just downloads the game without paying for it, and he can only play when someone who has the game, who has bought the game, invites him.
Okay. That's like good old two-player games on split screen.
Yeah, it is split screen. In fact, I think the best way to play it is on the couch with someone next to you, but especially with
Foxdie.
it's not always possible. So they came out with this very interesting marketing strategy, which I think really paid off.
Gee.
People are really happy about it.
You know what? I really miss split screen gaming. That's something you don't see anymore. We used to all go to my mate Martin's house. We used to get 2 or 3 Xboxes linked together, and we used to play Halo all together on these big TVs.
Oh yeah,
I really
Halo
miss
was
that. Halo
was like the juggernaut back then of split screen.
The only
co-op
reason why I bought
multiplayer.
an Xbox at the time.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue. We have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2, the remaster came out. Are you a skating fan?
Not really. I did play, I think, some skate games back in the 360 era. I think it was Skate. It was called Skate.
Yeah, that was a very realistic one compared to Tony.
Yeah, but no, I cannot call myself a fan of the genre.
No, I used to love them when I was a teenager. There was Tony Hawk's Underground. They had
Oh yeah, it was
Tony
PS2,
Hawk.
wasn't it?
Yeah, I had it for Xbox. It was Tony Hawk together with all the Jackass people. They had made a game. That was just bonkers. I loved it. You could make your own skate park and go around. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Then we move into April. In April, we have one of my favorites, Oddworld Soulstorm.
Which I do have to play. I
definitely have
one of the first games I played ever. I think I was 8 years old when I got my PS1. Ice Age was Oddworld's Abe's Exodus.
So this is based off Exodus.
Yeah, I read about it, and yeah, that's why I want to play it, because I've seen the visuals are stunning, especially on PS5 and PC, I guess. But yeah, it's one of those games that I will have to play someday. They even gave it out free with the PS Plus.
The PS Plus, okay. They gave out for free the first Oddworld with the Epic Games Store.
Oh, okay.
And this one I actually bought half price for, I don't remember what. I think I got it this Christmas actually for Black Friday. It's pretty good. It's a 2.9D. So unlike the first one, which was side-scrolling, it's still side-scrolling, but it's got some elements of moving maps. And they've rewritten the Exodus as this brand new game. So it's the same setting, but a few things change. It's very impressive. It's sort of, you got crafting now. You can craft bombs and you can tie up enemies. It's fun. I'm enjoying it. And
is it difficult?
At the moment, I'm not finding it too difficult, but I'm only up to like the 4th level or something.
Because that was like my only concern. I mean, I'm not used to play difficult games anymore unless it's a Soul. So yeah, I think the global gamer skills are declining. So
that's just old age, mate. Mine is kicking in. Now I love. I played, of course, the first 2 Oddworlds on PS1 when I was a child, and I suppose you played them in Italian as well.
Yeah.
And you got all the game speak. because you got to talk to the Mudokons to make them follow you. And I just have this engraved in my memory in Italian. Ciao, ciao, seguimi. Okay.
Yes, yes.
Whenever I tell someone, like I'm at a bar or something, and I just go ciao, and they reply to me, I said yes. What else did we have coming out in April? Resident Evil Village.
Oh yeah,
Juggernaut of a game. How was your experience with the Village?
I haven't played it. I did play and I think finished Resident Evil 7.
Beauty of the game.
But I wasn't really in the mood for that kind of game back in April when it came out. And I was playing Nier Replicant anyway, so.
So I picked it up a month ago when I finished writing my thesis because I had a bit of time on my hands. And I just shot through it. I absolutely loved it. It's a bit more action-packed than 7. So it's a little bit less claustrophobic.
Okay.
And what I did notice, though, is that I hoarded all my bullets. And I got to the final boss, and I just had all these bullets everywhere, and I didn't even finish them. This is because
very generous with the resources.
Yeah, you make a lot of money selling the stuff you find around.
Is there a difficulty setting in the game?
I played on hard, and then you
so on hard. It was already very generous.
Yes, it's probably because I was playing sparingly because I just played through 7, and there's like 3 bullets every hour you find, so you got to really spare them. And yeah, apart from that, I loved it. It was a really good story, and I really liked getting stuck into it. It was pretty good. Then we get to May. So what happens in May? We have Subnautica coming out for Switch, another bombshell of a game which I picked up and I still haven't played. And it's one of those games where, have you ever seen it? You got to explore
I've heard of it. I've seen it at a friend's house. He was playing it. He loved it. To me, it looked like a very immersive experience.
Yeah, so it turns out that it's like the biggest iceberg game ever. You just keep going and there's more stuff coming up, like the real ocean. What else we have? Elite Dangerous Odyssey. If you're a fan of Flight Simulator, you should try Elite Dangerous. It's pretty much Flight Simulator in space.
Okay. Yeah, I heard of this game, but I think I haven't seen anything of it.
It was one of those games they gave you with Epic Games. This is going to come up a lot during this episode. I got it with Epic Games. We are not sponsored by Epic Games. Though if you do want to sponsor us, we'll just put anything in there. Then we have Biomutant, another one that was in for some Game of Year awards.
Oh yeah.
Have you had any?
Yeah, I've heard conflicting views on this game. It did seem kind of dividing. There were people who loved it and people who hated it. I'm not sure why, because I haven't digged up in it.
Okay. Then we have June, my birthday. And
Nice.
We'll just leave you a second, just a quick word from our sponsors.
Une mort superficielle. Superficielle et la mort. Qu'est-ce que la vie sans la mort? Qu'est-ce que la mort? La vie est surfaite. La mort. Pure harmonie. Attraction irrésistible.
And we're back. Thank you to our sponsors. So we're up to June, and we have Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart, another game that was up for awards. We already mentioned it before. Neither of us have played it. Graphics look.
I'm waiting. I'm patiently waiting for a friend who's bought it on disc to finish it and pass it to me. But yeah, I'm still itching. I'm really itching to play it. really, really curious. It's it's not one of those, how can I say it? It's not a very, it doesn't look like a very innovative game on the gameplay side. It's an enjoyable game, you know. It's one of those games that really sucks you in without a heavy atmosphere. Just fun. That's how I see it. So it doesn't need to have like all these very difficult mechanics.
Yeah, just relax a bit, play around.
Yeah.
Then I see that for the rest of June, we have loads of old games that have been remastered. So
Oh yeah.
Worms Rumble. Have you ever played Worms?
Oh yeah. I have played it. I think this too was given out for free with PlayStation Plus and PS5.
Is it the 3D version of Worms?
Yeah. It's still side scrolling, you know,
Okay.
but you don't have turns. It's not turn based.
Oh wow.
You move around in real time, and you have all these different weapons which you can find around. And with DualSense, what's really cool is that every weapon gives a different feedback on your finger as you pull the trigger.
Yes, I keep rubbing it in that you have a dual sense.
Yeah, I do have two DualSenses actually.
You send me one just so I can hold it.
There we go.
Please tell me you have a black one. Oh, red one. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah, so it's Worms Rumble was a, you might call it a small game, but this feature, I mean, the DualSense was really put to good use.
Okay.
So that really gave me a lot of hope for the DualSense, because it means it doesn't cost a lot of money to make good use of it. It doesn't take probably tons of time to do that. You just want to do it.
I put countless hours into Worms as a child. They used to call me the rope ninja.
Nice.
I used to play with the rope and go around. Well, play with the rope sounds weird. I used to also play with the rope, but
but that's for a different podcast.
That's for a different podcast. Then we have Alex Kidd in Miracle World DX. Now, Alex Kidd was one of those games that used to make me furious as a child. I had it for the Sega Master System too. It was one of those games that came preloaded into the Sega Master System. And it's a Super Mario, so it's a platformer. And you've got this monkey boy, this kid that looks like a monkey, and you have to punch enemies. And then you find flying helicopters, motorbikes, submarines, different levels. Every boss is a huge hand. You got, and you have to play what do you call Chinese paper, scissors, rock?
Oh, okay.
Genkai, I forget the name of it. The problem is it's extremely random.
Oh.
These bosses are paper hand, stone hand, and scissor hand. And you got to play the game with them. And it's just so random. So I used to always lose. And whenever you lose a life. When you lose all your lives, you start from the beginning. You don't get
game.
Yes, it was horrible. So I've only ever got to like the second boss as a child.
What?
No,
that's astonishingly punishing.
Oh, the games in the 90s were, this was probably 80s, this was definitely 80s because my cousin had given it to me. The games in the 80s were keep putting coins in until you lose all your lives.
Oh yeah, right.
That's why they were punishing. They couldn't make games long.
Economic model more than a game design choice.
Then we have Doom Eternal for PS5.
Yep.
Was that one of your games?
No, a friend of mine played it. Not really into frenetic shooters that much, you know, but I've heard only good things about this one.
Yeah.
It's really loved by the Doom community, which is good, you know. when you love a franchise and a new one comes out and everybody loves it, you maybe you don't give a damn, but you feel good about it because, yeah.
I'm still stuck at Doom 3. I played Doom 1 on a pregnancy test. I played. Did you see that? Did you see that? They managed to program a pregnancy test to play Doom. No, I played Doom 1 on Game Boy. I played Doom 2 on Nintendo something, SNES probably. And then I got given Doom 3, which is extremely claustrophobic. So Doom 3 is like the Alien Isolation of the Doom games. Really cool. Anyway, then we go into July. So second half of the year. We have Microsoft Flight Simulator. I don't know if you're a big fan of it. I am definitely a big fan of it, and I'm not a big fan of the price.
Oh.
I used to have Microsoft Flight Simulator X, I think it was, for Windows XP. And mate, the nights I spent playing, I used to get my neighbor Davide. We used to sit down together. I used to have the cloche. He used to have the pedals. And we do real-time flights like Italy, Sydney.
Nice.
Stay up the whole night until we'd get kicked out in the morning. Then we have Psychonauts 2, another game that was up for grabs.
Yeah. Again, that's an Xbox exclusive, so Xbox Series X and PC. I don't really like playing on PC. I prefer to play on a console. So yeah, I haven't played it, but the concept of the game, which I was unfamiliar with until this one came out, was really intriguing. I mean, you get into the head of a person or something like that.
I think the first one was like that too, yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of those gems from the PS2 era that not many people got to experience.
Yeah.
Then moving on, we have Blair Witch.
Even though I do have a PlayStation VR.
Yeah, it's for PSVR. My advice to you is, if you like horror games, don't buy this. It's not bad. I was just terrified playing it.
Oh, wow. PT all over again?
Yeah, you got not really the PT vibes. It's more of the f is going on vibes.
Oh, okay.
Like Amnesia, those games that just scare the shit out of you without being... Have you ever watched the movie Blair Witch? Like the original?
No, I think I've never seen it. I know the...
You've had a good childhood.
General plot.
Yeah, so nothing happens in the movie.
Oh.
Just absolutely nothing happens, and it's the most frightening movie that ever came out. Game is the same. Nothing happens, terrifying. I'll just leave it at that. Then you might have picked up from even the Kojima podcast we did with Albert that I'm not the most manly man when it comes to getting scared. Then we have 12 Minutes, came out in July. A game that Mr. Kojima was playing at one point and he was very happy with. Yeah, I don't know anything else about it.
It's like a time loop kind of experience where you relive the same day over and over again until you make all the right choices that doesn't get you killed. Basically.
Yeah, so that was pretty much my PhD.
Yeah.
Just kept reliving the same day over and over. Then we have Ghost of Tsushima Director's Cut. Did you get to play Ghost of Tsushima? Or Tsushima?
No, I still have to play it. I do own it because I got it for discount, but I still haven't gotten around to play it. Is there I think there's an upgrade thing if you have the original PS4 game.
Yeah.
For like 20 euros or 10 euros. Like that's trending. Yeah.
Yeah. For whoever's listening to us in America, 10 euro is like the money we use in Europe. It's like the dollar but better because it's accepted everywhere.
It's like the dollars, but water resistant.
Yeah, pretty much. What came out next? Aliens Fireteam Elite.
Mm-hmm.
I heard so many bad things about this game.
Oh, I think Aliens games are cursed somehow. I think in the last 20 years, how many Aliens game have we got? Like 3 or 4? And I
3.
think only one was good, and even that one was, yeah, good, but not a masterpiece.
The secret to that series is making it singular. Whenever the name is alien, it's good. When it's plural, it's crap. Alien Isolation, best Survivor I've played in the last 10 years. Aliens. Then at the end of July, we have Deathloop. Never played it. No idea.
It looks like July was the month for time loop paradox games.
Especially with aliens. It's
I still haven't played Deathloop myself, but yeah, I've heard it's good.
Mhm.
It's a PS5 exclusive published by Xbox, so that's unique.
What's happening there? We'll move into September now. We have WarioWare, Get It Together for Switch. Have you ever played any of the WarioWares?
I haven't. There's tons of Nintendo games that I might have to pick up sometime down the road, but yeah.
Yeah, so every WarioWare came out on a different, well, I don't know if it's one per generation, but there's definitely one per console. And every game, it's got a different gimmick to it. And there was a Game Boy Advance version that gave you like a chip to put on top of your Game Boy, and you could tilt it. So you played mini games by tilting.
Cool.
Then I had the DS version, which is called Touched. And it's all touchscreen games, mini games, really fun. Then there's the Wii version, which you use the remote control to do different things. So I wonder what happens with the Switch version. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Then we have Kena Bridge of Spirits.
Oh yes, this one came out the day after my birthday, and
21st it came out.
Yeah, I bought it on launch for PS5, and it's as if Legend of Zelda and Dark Souls had a baby, and Pikmin too. Even Pikmin, it has some. You have these little creatures that follow you around, which you can collect during the game. That do help you achieve tasks, do help you fight the bosses, and yeah, it's one of those. It has some Dark Souls elements in which you can't like finish the game just as by spamming the attack button. You have to be very careful. You have to dodge. You have to parry. So yeah, it doesn't do anything new, you might say, but what it does well. I think it was the first game by the studio that published it.
I don't know.
It was their first game. They used to be I forgot the name of the company, but they used to make these short CGI films for outsourcing to other companies.
Okay, moved into
and this was the first attempt at making a game. So I can really forgive the fact that it doesn't do anything new, because it's like an experiment, but it was a very good experience, very great atmosphere, and yeah, I would suggest it if it's the kind of thing that appeals you.
Okay. We then have Diablo 2 Resurrection, PC.
Yeah.
Diablo 2 was one of those games that I just poured hours into as a kid after Diablo 1. Did you ever get into it?
I put hours into Diablo 3.
Okay.
When it came out in 2012, I think.
Possibly. What class do you play?
10 years ago, damn it.
Danny. We get
I played the I forgot what his name was. The guy with the huge stick.
The
He used to-
sorcerer.
No, he was like a warrior
Okay.
with half naked. It's really telling that I remember that.
I used to play as the barbarian and the paladin in the.
Oh,
first-
I think it was the barbarian. Yeah.
Probably, yeah. He had double axe or the single axe.
Yeah, I mean, I chose that class because I was new to the genre and I
Mhm.
wanted a straightforward kind of gameplay experience.
Okay.
So yeah.
Diablo is great. I can't wait till we get the paper win version though.
Hmm.
One they announced at E3.
The one on the smartphones.
The ones on the smartphones, yeah. Is this some kind of joke?
Yeah.
At the end of September, we got one of the best games ever to come out. Death Stranding Director's Cut. Now,
Still...
we
No,
might be a little bit partial though. Just
yeah.
a little bit.
I mean, you and I think we both poured hours upon hours, dozens of hours on Death Stranding when it came out.
I played 2 hours just before the podcast, just to clear the room out.
So I poured a lot of hours in the original Death Stranding, but and that's why I haven't tried the director's cut for now, because I know I will want to play it again, but it's not now. So, but there's just there's a very good program on the PS5. If you do have the disc version or the digital version of Death Stranding on PS4, you can upgrade to the PS5 director's cut version for like €10, $10,
Okay.
£5, I think, in England.
Also, for who's listening, that is not American or European, pounds are what the British people use. It's another type of money. And that's worth a lot.
A very heavy
Sorry.
kind of money.
Yeah, so I like the additions they did to it. It looks very scalar. Like you can start off with just like the mazer, which is an electric gun, and then you move up the ranks. But what I especially like is the fact that you can use zip lines with the carriers. So I played through the PS4 version really quickly because all you guys from the podcast had already finished it, and I was starting to smell spoilers in the air.
Yeah.
So I just rushed through it. So what I did, I just used the truck and I'd go everywhere with the truck. But now I know the story and everything, so I'm playing as you're meant to play. I am not using any vehicle except on the roads.
Okay.
So I'm doing the whole mountain area by foot.
I'm not sure there's a way you are supposed to play.
I absolutely agree with you, but
I mean, it's part of the experience. You have the choice to face the challenges in many different ways, even with the boss fights.
Yeah, but it seems to me like they didn't really wish to program in that the trucks can go over like 90% inclines. It's like
Probably
the
not.
horses in Skyrim.
But it's Kojima. It's realistic until a certain point.
Yeah, especially with the pissing on demons part.
Yeah, I loved it.
That
And
was
it
so
totally
fun.
made sense.
Yeah, like a kink in a game that made sense. Anyway, then we have October, one of the best games ever to come out in 2021, FIFA 22.
Oh yes, game of the year.
I got it a couple of weeks ago because I haven't bought a football game in ages.
Wow.
And I got it for like €6 because apparently it was really bad because they just copy pasted FIFA 21.
Wow.
So they were just giving it away for nothing. What can I say? It's a football game.
Yeah, it is hard to put out a new game every year.
Yeah,
but they don't have to, they could just release a game and update it online. When it was back in the PS1 PS2 era, you could understand that they needed a new game every year because some footballers were new, some footballers were sold to other teams, but now, I mean, you can just make a live service game that gets
absolutely.
updated yearly.
All you're getting new is the new teams. Like you have the same teams with the new players. All you need is, instead of selling it for €70, you sell it for 25, and then each year you give €5 add-on if you really want it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's actually what Konami is trying to do now with the new Pro Evolution Soccer, which is
Even though I read it's very bad.
Yeah, it's because Konami's doing it. They're just trying to make money. Please, Konami, please don't sue us. I don't think they're using it anymore. What do we have next? Alan Wake Remastered, which I haven't picked up. I haven't even played the original.
I do have to play it though, because I played the original on the 360. But I never got around to finish it.
Yeah, there's a new one coming out too now.
Yeah, and turns out even Control takes place in the same universe. So
that's it's another Sam Lake game. Yeah,
he made like he's constructing this Sam Lake gaming universe.
Lakeverse.
Yeah, with this weird sense of horror, tension, thrilling experiences. That's really cool.
Okay. Then we have Far Cry 6, which there was a lot of hype behind it because you had Esposito in it.
Giancarlo Esposito, sì.
Yeah, so for the Americans it's Giancarlo Esposito. For us it's Giancarlo Esposito from Naples.
I'm just used to reading it the wrong way because I watch a lot of YouTube videos in English and they always say Esposito, Esposito, Esposito.
Do you know where the name comes from?
Where?
Esposito is orphans have that name in Italy. Not anymore, of course.
Wow.
But in southern Italy, there used to be a wheel where you put the baby in for adoption and you turn the wheel so it'd go into the hospital or into the where the nuns live. So if you wanted to abandon your child, you would leave it this, and it was called La Ruota degli Esposti.
Oh,
so the wheel of exposed children, and Esposito came from Esposto. So nice. It was one of those names that all the orphans had. Just little, whoever understands us in Italian can live with this information. Then we have Age of Empires 4. I don't know if you've ever played Age of Empires. It's another one of those games where I tanked hours into it.
I have the first two. I played the first two ages ago. I've heard this. I've seen this one. I've seen some YouTube videos of the fourth one. It did look they could have worked on the graphics a bit more.
Okay. And to see if you're a real fan, tell me 3 cheat codes.
Pepperoni pizza. Lumberjack.
Yes.
And gold.
Okay, good on you. I would have gone with Cheesesteak Jimmy's, How Do You Turn This On, and Marco Polo.
Nice, yeah.
Which were actually 2 different cheats.
I didn't speak English back then, so I always had to copy like letter by letter because I didn't know how to spell things and I didn't know even what I was spelling.
Yeah, you might remember from the Metal Gear podcast times, I was the only kid that spoke English in school. I went to an Italian school. I was the only English kid. And I used to get borrowed for translations.
I can imagine.
What do we have next? November. Grand Theft Auto Trilogy.
Oh yes, which I'm playing currently. Although I should put some more time in it because I got Horizon coming out in exactly a month, and I have to be done at least with Vice City by that time. Yeah, I did play GTA 3, Vice City, and San Andreas when I was younger. I never finished them, so when this definitive edition came out, I thought it was a good chance to get back to them and finish the job. Unfortunately, there were troubles at launch. They did go with a visual style that turned out to be very divisive because they didn't want to remake the whole thing. It would have cost probably too much money. So they kind of cheaped out, you might say, but they did it in a fancy way, I think, aside from bugs. I remember I turned on my PS5 with GTA 3 on launch day, and what I noticed was that on PS5 in performance mode, it couldn't hold 60 FPS all the time.
Can you actually see the frame rate?
No, but it was one of those obvious situations when you say, yeah, this is even below 30 at times. There were huge dips, which were resolved, by the way. Now the games are doing great.
Okay, good to know.
I mean, you may not like the visual style, but yeah, I think it's a good job. Not a great job, but a good job. So if you haven't played these games, you can play them on PC. You can mod them on PC, so you can get all the fancy effects that you like. But if you want to play it on console, I think it's the best version.
I absolutely adored Vice City at the time. You know, that, what is it? The early. It still has the
2002.
Yeah, and then I had the San Andreas, which I never managed to finish. I got to the final train mission, and all I got on repeat was, all you had to do was follow that damn train, CJ, over and over and over again, and I never managed to finish it. Also, I tried cheating through it, and I still didn't manage.
Wow.
Yeah, I was really bad. We continue?
Yeah.
We have Halo Infinite in November.
Yes.
Another juggernaut, which I never played.
Yeah, me neither. I did play Halo 3 back in the day, and it was a fun experience, but I'm not really into shooters, but that one was the exception, you know.
Yeah, it's a great game.
Because it's a very singular kind of shooter. So, yeah, but I mean, we're talking about Halo. Everyone knows about Halo, I think.
Yeah. It came out of nowhere and it struck everyone. Like I said, the reason why I got an Xbox at the time. Then we also have, in November, Pokemon Diamond and Pokemon Pearl. Remastered, like the new Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. This was my least played generation. I don't know if you're a fan of Pokemon.
I've never played any one of them. Because, yeah,
I think this is fourth generation. It was the last one I played, actually. I played Pearl, and then I never played any Pokemon games again. So if you like Pokemon, go for it. There was a fun mini game where you dug in this one, like looked for fossils and stuff.
Nice.
Anyway, moving on to December. What did you do in December 2021?
I was still on GTA 3.
Oh,
that game was hard.
Yeah, I remember.
Really hard.
What else do we have in December? Among Us for PS5. Did you jump
Yeah.
on the Among Us wagon during the pandemic?
I did with a couple of friends. It was fun. But yeah, it's one of those games that you enjoy with a lot of friends. So, but it's difficult to be all three at the same time. You gotta have 4 friends willing to play in that moment, and you have tons of fun if you do. But it's kind of a not very common situation.
Yeah, we used to meet up on Zoom, and then from Zoom we'd all go into the game, so we were all together. Yeah, good times, good times. And that's it for December. We've gone through most of the games from 2021. And yeah, it was let's call it a slow year for gaming. We're into the new generation. We're pushing to make better games. And well, I'm not pushing, I'm not making games, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, development still hit by
Foxdie.
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, unless you're a game developer in a country that as very few cases you are impacted.
Yeah, or many cases but doesn't give a shit. Like,
Yeah,
not gonna say any country actually. You might have an idea.
we're not gonna name names, but if you know, you know.
We're not gonna name names, England.
So yeah, I mean, we've seen tons of delays. I think Horizon was supposed to come out in 2021.
Yeah,
Didn't go to 4.
they issued an apology on that.
But you know, it's fine. I mean, I can understand having to work on a huge game and all you got to speak to your colleagues is Zoom.
Yeah. Ironically, what we're doing right now.
Yeah. Sorry, Zoom, but that's what happens. Still, quite a lot of good games.
I'm looking forward to God of War.
Mm.
And I'm definitely looking forward to whatever Mr. Kojima is going to push out.
Oh, yeah. We've seen some teasers.
Which teasers say it might be 2 games.
I wonder how far off his next game is.
I think probably 2 years. 2023 or 2024.
Yeah. I hope he does wait more before revealing stuff, because the wait for Death Stranding was excruciating and was exhausting. I don't think I'm ready to go through that again.
But wasn't that fun?
It was fun, but you know, by the time the game came out, I loved the game, and I know you did too. But a lot of people were too overhyped.
Yeah.
They were expecting the impossible. So I think I like the Nintendo style in these things. They just announced a game. Oh yeah, it's coming out next month.
What?
Yeah.
That is a Kojima thing though. Like PT. It just came out of nowhere. But then again, it wasn't under his name, and it was all the secretive stuff.
I think I would like something like 3-4 trailers.
Yeah.
Major trailers, major events, maybe a demo releasing, but like 4 events, not more, because it becomes too much, you know.
But that's what happened with Death Stranding. There was only 4 trailers. There was 3 trailers and the release trailer.
Yeah, but you have the gameplay walkthrough, all the
True.
interviews, all the screenshots, all the descriptions. You had a lot.
And then you have fucking Sony putting the end of the game into the trailer for the release.
Oh yeah.
It's fun because Kojima released loads of video, like a long amount of time of videos, but it was all in the first hour of the game. And then you have Sony making up a video, which is everything that happens at the end. Yeah, that's crazy. We've hit the hour mark, so I said we can leave it here at this.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll have Divesh and Nav back in next episode.
Yeah. Hopefully we will talk about I don't know when we'll have it. By then, I might have played some Horizon Forbidden West and give you some clues about it.
Yeah.
Some insight. Yeah. So
Thank you for listening
Yeah.
to the
yeah,
game.
thank you for listening. It's been a bit. It's been a good look back at 2021. So yeah.
I already missed 2021. It's so close yet so far.
Unreachable.
Yeah. Thank you for listening. Catch you next time. Ciao.
Thank you. Bye.